Today I'm with Paige. Paige, how old are you?
19.
Paige, how long have you been lost in Phoenix?
I think almost 3 years now. I think it's almost 3 years, yeah.
So you came out to the streets when you were 16 about?
Yeah, close to there, yeah.
And lots of people I talk to are doing blues, G's, or powder.
Yeah. I don't do any of that.
None of that.
Not
How do you
me,
stay away
no.
from that?
I think it's just my mental and the way I've lived before I came out here. I had more of a richer family kind of thing, so, but I was abused my first part of my life until I came out here, but I think it's just more of my mind telling myself that it's not a good thing to do. It's not healthy. It just makes, I like my looks, so that's the one thing I don't want to ruin is my looks.
And substances would ultimately ruin your looks, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's lots of people that are not able to stay away. They're not able to say no. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you're so good at saying no, but other people struggle with that?
I think other people have had problems in their lives that are different from other people, so they've been in different situations. So also like pain and things like that, they all have different problems. So I think it's harder for some people to get off of it or stay on it or like just to stay away from it because of their body and how they take in things and problems and all that. So
like trauma,
mm-hmm.
they might not know how to cope with trauma, things that happen to them as kids, emotional, physical, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you had issues, abused when you were younger.
Mm-hmm.
How were you able to cope with that pain?
I think, I raised myself most of that time because my mom just didn't do it. So I kind of just told myself not to go that route, I guess. I don't know, I just keep myself from that because I know and see my other family members and see how they do things, so it's different. I don't know, that's just my way, yeah.
Do you have a relationship with your mom or family?
I still talk to my mom, just because I have to keep in touch with my sisters. That's the most important thing because I raised them too. So I think keeping in touch with her is the only way to keep in touch with my sisters. So that's really the only reason. But the other family, no, not really. Because my dad, he was in the army, so he has PTSD. So he's not really all there. I don't talk to him anymore. And my other family, they just kind of don't talk to me. So, yeah.
If your mom or family watches this, do you have a message for them? Something you want to tell them?
I don't know. I think I've told her a lot of messages, good and bad. I think just to change the way she raises like my sisters than how she did with me, just because I don't want them to do the same thing I did, but also follow in the same ways that I taught them, in like the good ways. Like she just needs to, I don't know, I guess just kind of chill out and just kind of push them to do better things and not kind of just, just.
How old are your siblings?
One of my 2 little sisters, one's 8 or 9 now, I think, and then the other one's 10. Yeah.
How would you feel if your sisters ended up on the streets doing blues, doing substances? How would you feel about them being out here?
I don't know how I feel. I'd probably cry my eyes out. I hate that. I think about it all the time, but I know that they're smart, way smarter than me, so I know they won't, but if they did, that would probably mess with me a lot. Yeah.
And the only reason I bring that up is because there's lots of young people out here. You're young, but there's younger people than you.
Right.
So why do you think there's such a magnet out here on the streets for young people like you? You're not doing substances, but yet here you are.
Right.
And so how do parents prevent their young children from coming out here?
I guess just I think it's more of have a connection with your children. Don't push them away, if that makes sense. Like, you don't have to be not strict at all, but at least try to be their friend, because some of it starts just by, like how with me, it started just by not having anybody by my side, not having any friends or nothing like that. I wanted my mom to be my friend, but she wasn't, so it was like back and forth. Just you can be strict, but also just give them a little leeway sometimes, and then they'll listen to you, and just don't push them to do things. Don't force them to do things, because they're just gonna do it anyways. So, yeah.
How much longer do you think you'll be out here? It's been 3 years. You're 19. Do you see another 3 years out here?
No.
What do you see?
We've already talked about getting into another place. We're trying to get into either a shelter, or I have a friend that has a house that can take me in right now. We just have to stop like doing the things that we're doing out here and kind of fix the way we think, because they think differently. So we kind of have to grow up a little bit. That's really it. Yeah.
Do you think there's some immaturity in your decision making right now?
There's always immaturity in everyone's decisions. I feel like it's not always immaturity, but I feel like everyone makes stupid decisions and choices, which it's always going to turn into that at some point, but you can always get out of it, I feel like.
Right. Do you feel sometimes that you're a target out here because you're so young, the way you look, and you stick out like a sore thumb in these type of neighborhoods, and you got men approaching you inappropriately, right? Asking you for things. Doesn't that get tiresome?
It does get tiring, but I'm just the type of person that I was with my family, with the men that my mom was around. I was like the feisty one. I was trying to protect my sisters from men, so I kind of am used to that by now because of my family situations. So I feel like I know how to deal with it, and I know how to kind of not let it bother me as much as other people do. Yeah.
That's really sad that your experience as a kid resulted in that response, that answer that you just said. It's like you're saying, oh, I'm used to it, I'm accustomed to it, I know how to deal with it, when that shouldn't be the case. You understand that, right? Yeah. It's not normal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know exactly what happened, but I can imagine, stuff you went through, and that's horrific. But you also should understand that that was a chapter in your life, and you're so young, you got many more chapters to write.
Right.
And so the trauma that you experienced as a kid shouldn't be a factor as to you being out here. You should really try to get out of here, because there's nothing out here but bad stuff, right? So what advice would you give to 10-year-old, 12-year-old little girl? She's at home, lost, confused, rebellion, people are hurting her. What should she do to not go through that, not come out here later on?
What I think I wish I would have done was kind of just not try to be other people. Don't try to change yourself for other people, because no one really cares. They don't really care anyways. Like, you're your own person, and I feel like being your own person is the best way to not be around bad people or not go into a bad situation. Because if you're trying to be someone else, you're going to be doing the same things they do or doing the same things other people do, and you should be doing what you want to do. Like, you're your own person, so just stay that. Don't change. Don't change yourself.
I'm gonna be on YouTube.
So it's really good advice, right? you really need to get out of here, Paige. You have to.
Mhm.
When you're off the streets, what are you gonna be doing? What does a normal life look like for you? That's you're not in a shelter, you're not at a friend's house. What are you doing?
I want to go to cosmetology school. That's my biggest thing. I've always wanted to go to cosmetology school, so I'm trying to do that. I finished high school already.
Where'd you go to high school?
I've been to multiple different high schools. It was a big thing.
Lots of instability
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah, I was on online school for a while, and then I went to regular high school because my mom told me it would probably be better for me, but it really wasn't because my anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety, so I was everywhere. I was back and forth. Yeah.
Paige, you know what? Something very impressive about you is that just the 10 minutes I've known you, you've gone through a lot of stuff in life.
Mhm.
Instability, lack of parenting, you're being a mom to your
Mhm.
siblings
Mhm.
because there's some,
Right.
absentee parenting
Yeah.
going on, right? Your father going through his illness, your mother, whatever's happening with her. And so, above it all, though, you're very resilient. Have you ever been told that?
Yeah.
You're a tough chick,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that serves you well to survive. But don't play that hand forever
Mhm.
because it's just bad.
Right. Yeah.
So, thank you for sharing your story.
Mhm.
The whole purpose of this channel is prevention through awareness. By you having the courage to share your story, that little 10-year-old girl that's gonna watch this video at home, lost, confused, being abused, she's gonna be like, damn, I feel empowered
Mhm.
by listening to Paige's story to get out of this situation, that whatever she's in. You're gonna save somebody's life. Now it's time to save your life and get out of here, okay?
Yeah.
Paige, I'm gonna give you some water.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you. Can I give you the Bible?
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you the Bible. I'm gonna go get you some food.
Okay.
Stay safe. God bless. We'll talk soon, okay?
Mhm. Thank you.